Добрий вечір. Ми продовжуємо наш перший день проєкту Cyber Pills Following the Deep. І зараз ми маємо другу частину сьогоднішнього дня. У нас буде два художніх твори. Перший – це твір OMNI, відео до якого зробила Віолета Камінська, а музичну частину написали Йорген Кнудсен та Лукаш Шаланкєвіч. Зараз ми будемо мати можливість поговорити з Віолетою Камінською, яка представить свій твір і розкаже більше про нього. Я представлю наразі Віолету. Віолета Камінська – це медіахудожниця, дизайнерка, лінгвістка та педагогиня, яка має польське походження і працює в Сполучених Штатах Америки. Вона працює в таких медіа, як фотографія, рисунок, рухома графіка, фільм, відео та анімація. Її медитативні відеопейзажі – це певне дослідження, сприйняття нерухомості та візуальної рефлексії на перетині природи, технології і культурі. В своїй роботі вона зацікавлена у дослідженні миттєвого стану природи, часу і простору, а також конфліктних сил, що формують землю людей. Це дуже важливе таке інтро, яке справді певною мірою пояснить і контекстуалізує те, що ми будемо бачити в представленні самого твору OMNI. Тож зараз слово до Віолети. Violetta, thank you so much for joining us, and please, now it's your turn to talk, to describe, to give a context for the artwork OMNI. Please.
Here's the Zoom link. I was muted. Okay, now I can talk. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm really excited to be part of this wonderful event, and I really appreciate an invitation. So, yes, you guys will be showing OMNI, and OMNI, the title of the work comes from OMNI. We're talking about cameras, and that came, well, the title comes from the world we live in, really, and that's what my work is about. Our life in today's world and how it impacts the way we maneuver through our physical spaces, but also through our virtual spaces, which right now is a perfect example, because normally we would be meeting in person, and right now we are meeting in the virtual world. So omnidirectional cameras, that's really the full name, that where inspiration comes from. And I was really inspired, being myself a person living in the digital world. I'm always inspired by my own way of perception of the reality around me, and I'm fascinated how we are, how the whole society, really, how we are capable of moving in and out from that virtual reality. But I also ask a question through my work, through my visual explorations. Is it really that simple to move in and out of that reality? Are we really aware when we are out or when we are in? Or do the physical space and the virtual space, do those two spaces blend? And do they really, and how, if at all, they impact our life and the way we perceive the reality around us? So I think it's a very fascinating subject. I've been exploring that topic, I would say, probably for the last 8 years. I became really interested in that subject when I was I was doing my graduate studies at California College of the Arts in San Francisco. And that was my thesis, really. I focused on exploration of space and time and how the two interact. And I was really obsessed at that time with time, and how the perception of time was different, and how time was constructed of basically temporary and shortening moments. That's how I saw it. I felt that how I would perceive a minute, 60 seconds of my life just a few years before was so different with 60 seconds, I perceived a few years ago. And it really struck me. I remember one day when I was filming on Golden Gate Bridge and doing my research and explorations. And I was filming a flock of birds. I remember there were pelicans approaching Golden Gate Bridge. I recorded a minute of that, occurrence. And then as a comparison, I recorded a commercial on TV that also lasted a minute. And then I brought the two together, and I found it fascinating because I realized I wanted really to fast forward the 1 minute of birds flying, because it seemed like nothing was happening. They were just slowly moving. And I looked at the commercials. It was the same channel. I didn't change channels. And they were constantly, every second, there was something happening in the commercial, or the commercial was changing, or the scenes were changing so fast that it felt like, that minute just felt so different, what I saw on the left, what I saw on the right. So that was really, I think that really impacted my work in many ways. And so my research usually might be some viewers, some of my audience finds it surprising when I share my research, for example, on social media, because there's a lot of actually natural images and videos, very natural world. So sometimes I'm being asked if I'm a wildlife photographer. I love doing that. But at the end, when somebody sees my work, they can't believe it, because it's very different from where I start. But the truth is, the inspiration starts from the natural world, and then my love for natural world. And of course, all the changes the natural world, the wildlife is undergoing. I'm talking about climate change, how it affects our environment, and at the same time, how technology plays part in it. So I find it really fascinating. Through my work, I do not criticize technology, because sometimes I get those questions if I do criticize. I say no, because I would be a hypocrite. I am actually using technology a lot in my work, and I do believe right now we are connected via technology that would not be impossible 20 years ago. If the world was going through this kind of pandemic, we would not be able to connect like we are connecting right now. So technology is enhancing, in a way, our connection and relationship. But on the other hand, like, usually there's no one side to one thing. So there are some other issues, or there are some other concerns that I am addressing through my work. And I think every artist is, to some extent, obsessed with something that they are really willing to explore and go deep into. And, my obsession has been ongoing for years right now, and it's not going to stop. It's just kind of evolving and taking on different shapes and forms. So I'm really obsessed. It's interesting, in the very beginning, like I said, when I was studying at California College of the Arts, and I was exploring the concept of time and space, and how the two kind of play off each other, I became really obsessed with speed, because I thought, and that's what I saw, that first of all, I'm a very fast person, and it's very, fast moving through life, and I do a lot of things, and I am very curious. So, I want to do it all, which sometimes, is very difficult, because there are only 24 hours in the day. And, it's fascinating how I was talking in the very beginning and showing through my work fast pace. And then it really struck me, doing again more research and looking into psychology also. I've learned that I didn't discover it, because that has been already discovered, but I've learned, I asked myself a question, why I was showing what I was showing, and what else I could do about my work. And I thought, well, it's quite obvious we are moving fast through life, and it was very obvious that this was not going to change. We are not going to slow down. We'll be moving faster. So I was very curious as an artist. I was asking myself, okay, that's obvious. So what is it that I really want to do, and what interests me about it? And I thought, I actually don't feel like exploring that or showing it, because it's so obvious, right? So in art, like, why would I be showing everybody something that is so obvious, everybody knows? And then it struck me that actually what I'm really interested in is how we can slow down. Like, whatever it means. And I don't mean stopping the world. I don't mean standing for an hour still, because very often it's impossible. I was interested in how we can slow down, just to live a more balanced life, more harmonious, but also life where we can move through our environment and spaces, virtual, physical, in a way that we are aware of them. So that's what was my concern, because there was so much I was interested in: culture, society, politics, and how everything really is connected. So anyway, I started looking into slowing down, and that's when my work started really showing a lot of slow down motion. So that's what I said a bit earlier, that when somebody who knows me or hears me talk, like you guys right now, If you had never seen my work, you would be probably suspicious and you would be asking me, is that really your work if you just watched it? Because these are the questions sometimes I get, that the work is so slow, but I am not really the slowest person. And sometimes when the audience doesn't meet me before they see the work, they have an idea of me, who I am and what I am. And they always think I'm this very, composed, very meditative, almost like a person in a Zen state of mind, 24/7. I'm absolutely not this. And I think I'm doing this work because probably that's my craving to be in that, space. And through my work, I feel that I'm getting into that space. So maybe I just jump back to OMNI a little bit, since you're going to show it. First of all, I've been working for a few years with Lukasz Szalonkiewicz and Jorgen. And I met Lukasz during Wro Biennale, and that was really the beginning of our collaboration. I really was impressed with his work, and I think he enjoyed my video installation that was showed at that time at Wro Biennale. So we started collaborating, and I think Lukasz actually a few weeks ago he did some counting, and he counted 10 videos, videos I created for his music. So that's really has been also a new experience for me years ago when we started, and that was something I've always wanted to do. And I really feel that Lukasz's music speaks to me. So with OMNI again, talking about cameras, we have social media. Instagram would be a good example when we use cameras to showcase our work, our life online. And I was really interested at that time in perception of the environment through our eyes and through cameras, because really cameras these days are becoming an extension of our eyes. It's very difficult. Very often we see all the time people taking photos. It's more popular than ever. Very often, before we even notice an object, a place, space, physical, we are ready to take a photo without really inspecting this thing. We sometimes can't even answer why we're taking a photo. We just want to share it with the world for whatever reasons. And what I find fascinating, cameras and technology is so advanced right now. And omnidirectional cameras, 360-degree view, they are really used for to capture image that 360 degrees. It's used in robotics very often. So it's really to get into that, and panoramic also views, but it really to get into the kind of view and perspective that might be slightly difficult to capture with our eyes. So on the other hand, we are using it in our daily life because it's been really applied in our phones right now. But the question I ask again is, what does it do to us? Do we really see? Because on the other hand, we have an image right in front of us. We took we can talk about 360-degree panoramic photos we take. What does it do? What do we see? And I think that's what I'm addressing in the video. That actually is the longest video I've done in years, because my videos started getting shorter and shorter. Attention span is shorter, and I feel it's very appropriate right now to get to 1-minute videos. And 2 years ago, I was really surprised actually myself. That wasn't my intent when I started, but I felt I had to continue that approach. And OMNI is really a long video, if you think, and going back to those 2 videos that were part of my research early on years ago, the pelicans approaching the Golden Gate Bridge and a minute of commercials rolling through. I was worried that a long, video OMNI would not be interested in many ways to anybody these days, because 10 minutes, it feels like a lifetime for many people, right? Who has 10 minutes to stop? We don't have time. I love that expression, I have no time. So we are running out of time, and we think time is really, we have to keep on running. So I am forcing a viewer to slow down. I hope I am successful. I don't know, you'll decide it when you see it. But sound, this video would not come to life if it was inspired. It was a collaboration with Lukasz and Jorgen. And so I think that's in a nutshell. I don't know if you have any other questions for me.
I mean, the could be a good, I think, and long discussion because it's really, really important and interesting to talk with you as about the time, about using the digital or just different analog technology to capturing the time. Slow down as Bill Viola, for example, does. Your approach is quite different, very different, visually, conceptually, technically, but also that's about thinking about space and time, which is I really like that, and really like this work particularly. I mean, really like that. So thank you so much.
If I may add, Andrew, because I didn't add something very important, let me show the character right behind me. Here he is. I forgot to mention that since, nature it's in the center, really, nature and technology, really, they get enough space and they get equal amount of space in my work. I wanted to mention that birds are a big part of my work, especially a great blue heron, and that's the character you'll see in OMNI. I use them, linguistics is also a part of my background besides art and design, so I work with metaphors a lot. I believe metaphors are very powerful in storytelling, and a bird, especially great blue heron, is a metaphor in my work for mindful stillness and slowing down to survive in the ever-changing environment. So I just wanted to add to it because I think it's very important, to understand what the bird is doing there. He's not just hanging. He's on his mission to survive, because birds, nature, they need to find food, but to find food, they need to stand still. And I feel we as humans, we need to find moments of stillness to survive too.
Thanks a lot. And also thanks for joining, and we'll follow to the video, to the artwork. So thanks again.
Thank you so much.
Alexander. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Great work. Great video. I really liked it. I actually seen it maybe, I don't know, 10 times, 11
Oh,
times.
so you could sit
Maybe
through 10
over.
minutes. Okay.
So I really liked it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. And see you soon. I hope.
Yes, I'm sure. Thank you so much, Andrei. Thank you very much, Lem Station. Thank you.
Yeah.